show your face. Show your face, please, with Durk on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest TDF first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, it's looking like Lil Durk can't keep himself out of trouble even while he is in federal custody. Now, I know y'all remember the phone call that he did when he called back home to his friends and he said that he's not going in PC. He's good, he got his feet up, he's kicking back, he's chilling, but it's looking like he's doing a little too much chilling for California's liking. Now, it will recently come out that Lil Durk has been violating the jail rules, and that could look bad for him because, as y'all know, he was trying to get a bond, but it looks like they're just trying to pile everything up on him so he doesn't get a bond. Not to mention the feds dropped a bombshell on him when they would present unsealed documents showing that Lil Durk is a person of interest involved in the passing of a Chicago man by the name of Stephon Mack, who they say may have had involvement in the unaliving of Lil Durk's brother, D-Thing. But then the documents, they're alleging that Lil Durk is believed to have gotten Stephon unalived by paying other affiliates to handle the job, which means yet another M for hire charge added to the list, along with the present one he's being charged with when it comes to the unaliving of Quando Rondo affiliate Lil Pab. Now at this point, Durk should already know that he's being put under a microscope, and instead of following the rules and regulations of the facility that he's currently at, he's deciding to break the rules. To him it might be nothing, but the feds who want to keep him in their custody is just using this as ammunition, furthering the reason why they feel he should not be released, because if he isn't abiding by the rules while he's incarcerated, then how can they trust him to follow the rules when he's a free man and have to report back and forth to court? Basically, they're trying to say that Lil Durk is a flight risk. Now, I'll get more into that in a few after we go over what's being said in the article. So before we get into all that, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it. Now, according to an article from XXL mentioning the current violations Lil Durk is facing while in jail, it will read, quote, "On Tuesday, December 17th, Law and Crime published a YouTube video in which host Jesse Weber detailed the recent ruling by a judge that keeps Lil Durk behind bars ahead of his M for hire trial in January. Weber discussed an exhibit under seal filed by prosecutors that mentioned a pattern of criminal behavior and interference shown by Durk. The brief also revealed that the Chicago rapper has not been following the rules at Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC in Los Angeles, where he was extradited to from Florida in November. Despite clear instructions to not engage in three-way calls, defendant repeatedly abused the phone system at MDC to engage in such conduct. Prosecutors include information like this to show that if a defendant can't abide by the rules and regulations in jail, how can they be expected to follow the rules if they are released on bond? Last week, a pre-trial release motion was filed for Durk to receive a bond before his trial. However, this first attempt at securing a bond in his M for hire case was denied. His legal team offered a bond package that included the 32-year-old rhymer's 2 homes in Georgia, worth a combined $2.3 million, in addition to $1 million in cash from Sony Music. Durk being granted a bond in his 2019 case for criminal intent to commit M, charges that were later dropped, was also included to show he was not a flight risk. The brief also included information regarding a separate federal case in Chicago linking Durk to another M. He's accused of offering people money to unalive those responsible for the M of his brother Derek OTF D-Thing Banks in 2021. Now, I read the rest of that just so you guys can get the gist of what they're trying to say and see how they're trying to build and just compile things on Lil Durk and basically make it to where he looks like the bad guy to the point where they don't want to release him from federal custody. Now, another thing I found kind of interesting is the fact that Sony Music was willing to put up $1 million. Now, a lot of people say, well, that's his label. The reason why they trying to do it is because they trying to look out for his best interest. No. I'm going to tell y'all right now, whenever you hear these labels giving out money to help, especially when an artist is in jail, just know that it's not of good merit. If y'all remember when Tupac, I think he was bailed out by Suge Knight or whoever it was, it comes with strings attached. Just know that. So that $1 million probably got a bunch of interest on it. He's going to have to do a bunch of things to get back that $1 million for Sony. And they don't want just $1 million back. Like I told you before, it comes with other things on top of it. But it's kind of interesting that he put up his houses and you realize he didn't put up no cash. A lot of these guys talk that money stuff and, I'm a gazillionaire and whatever the case may be. And we not pocket watching, but it's just strange how he put up 2 homes and the $1 million in cash that was put up wasn't of his own money. It was coming from Sony Music, which was pretty interesting. Now, when it comes to the rules that they say Lil Durk have violated while he is in federal custody, let me say this, man. When it comes to jail, everyone and their mother makes 3-way calls every single day. Literally, like, you're not supposed to do it. They tell you, you get in trouble. They tell you you could lose your phone time if you get caught. They don't want nobody making 3-way calls, and it's for a reason. But what I'm going to say is right now the spotlight is on Lil Durk. And I'm sure they're also monitoring him due to who he is and the influence that he has along with the money, right? What they're doing is strategic because the feds aren't stupid. He might could get away with this in the state, but the feds is a different story. And me personally, I think more than likely they want to keep him in there for a few reasons and make sure that he's not released from their custody because he's too much at risk. Now, here's my theory, right? For one, y'all got to remember how Lil Durk was caught to begin with when he was arrested. It said that he was trying to go to Dubai or something like that on a private jet, but his assistant booked a whole bunch of other flights in which they feel that Durk was trying to play it smart and book a whole bunch of flights with his name attached so they wouldn't know which one to target. Basically saying that Lil Durk was trying to flee because he already knew what was coming. However, Durk's attorney stated that Lil Durk wasn't trying to run. And in fact, it was just a booking error on his team's behalf when they was getting the flights in order, and it was like a layover, something like that. But at the end of the day, like I said, we all know what's going on, and the feds aren't stupid. That's why they swooped in and came just before he could actually get on that flight. So I think they're trying to keep him because they feel that he's a flight risk. They feel that if they let him go, if he's already breaking the rules in jail, what makes you think he's going to abide by the rules when he get out? What makes you think he's going to come back and forth to court? Because we've seen that he was already trying to leave, whatever tactic that he was doing. These are the ideas and thoughts that they have. And they can't run the risk of him fleeing to another country somewhere or out of their jurisdiction where they can't get him while he's already in their custody. So they rather just keep him. It's like less of a headache. Now, when it comes to the 3-way calls, here's another reason why I feel that they got him under the microscope. We know who Lil Durk is. We know his reputation. They know what he raps about. He's already being charged for M for hire. Then they already got him in unsealed documents where they're trying to put charges on him for another M for hire. So now you got to think about it. He's more dangerous if he's out of their custody. They feel that he could potentially keep operating and doing M for hires, allegedly, if he's not in their custody. So if he's doing 3-way calls, once again, they don't want to run the risk. They don't want him making 3-way calls and trying to, witness tampering. Next, certain witnesses or guys start missing, coming up unalived and stuff like that. They don't want to risk that. This is why them 3-way calls are so important to them, because they feel that maybe that's what he's doing. Now, at least if he's in their custody, they could monitor him. They could supervise him. They could see what he's doing. They could record his phone calls. They could listen into him. Like, even if he do anything or try to talk in code, it's going to be a little harder, right? They could go through your mail. They could monitor your visits. They could monitor your phone call. Pretty much, they can babysit you. They could supervise you. They could see any and everything you're doing. So it'll make it hard for him to do whatever he want to do if that's the route he chose to take. But if they let him out, if they release him, they know that it's more of a chance to where their case might go sour. Whether you got people that was cooperating, now they don't want to cooperate because something happened, or a witness that was there, next they don't want to show up to court. Who knows? But it's a lot that can go on, and I feel personally, that's my theory, when it comes to why they monitoring him right now so much and don't want him making any three-way calls. Because like I said before, everybody knows, everybody does three-way calls in prison, right? Every day. If you got 1,000 inmates, 9 times out of 10, 995 of those inmates are making three-way calls a day, because it allows you to talk to more than just one person. And if you want to get something done, that's another way to do it too. So I think they're just trying to minimize his chances of doing anything, and they don't want him released because they can supervise him. If he's released and not in their custody, who knows what'll happen? See, y'all gotta remember, when you look at the evidence in both cases, the present one and the unsealed one that the feds dropped out of nowhere, to be perfectly honest with you, there's nothing physically they can say that makes Durk guilty, right? With the evidence that they have. However, they do have the associates of Durk who have a lot of evidence against them. So here's what the feds gonna do, right? Y'all seen them shows, you know, some of y'all know it in real life. The feds are gonna basically show them that they have enough evidence to basically give them football numbers. And then they say things like, well, listen, if you give up Durk, maybe we could work something out. Because right now you're looking at 30 to 40 years, 50 years in jail, right? We know Durk got something to do with it. All you gotta do is give us a statement and we work something out with you, right? And 9 times out of 10, guess what? Those so-called friends, the so-called homies, the same guys you call my twin, my slime, they crack. So right now is basically a test of loyalty. Let's see how loyal these guys really are. Everybody claimed they loyal until they put in position to actually show it, right? See, judging off the evidence we already know of, it's without a doubt that Durk may have had something to do with it, right? Let's be real here. But the thing about court is you have to prove it. It don't matter what you know, it don't matter what you think, it don't even matter what it seemed like. Even if it's without a doubt that he may have had something to do with it, you have to prove it. It's not what you know, it's about what you can prove. So we just gonna have to wait and see, because right now the guys that they have, it do seem like they cook. And one thing about the feds, if you don't give them what they want, they'll make an example out of you. And that's what it's looking like they're gonna do with these guys that they got if they decide that they want to play hardball. Now, as far as Durk, these days, if somebody did tell on him, it's so much going on involving OTF and oblock, and he might not even know where it came from. You still got the oblock 6 situation, then you got the Little Pab situation, and now it's the Stephon Max situation. It's a lot going on, right? So Durk got to play it smart. He got to be easy. He's under a microscope, and it's only going to get worse. And he's giving them more ammunition to why he don't need a bond and might keep him in there until January. The good part is January is right there. You know, the only sad part about it is he's just going to have to be incarcerated while he's at trial or fighting the case. Then if he get found guilty, it's even worse, because now you're really not coming home. There's no chances of doing anything. You're just stuck in there. You know, so it is what it is, man. Y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this. How do y'all feel about them saying that Durk is violating the rules? Do y'all think you need to tighten up or whatever? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, the zones you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. And I'm out.